A warm welcome to all the beautiful people watching, and welcome back to your favorite youth sport show called Sportify. My name is Marisel Stoffberg, and what an exciting episode we have planned just for you because you're superstars. So today on Sportify we have very important content that we will be introducing to you. So first we're going to kick things off with a nice promo video of the MyZone brand. So Sportify is one of the programs presented by MyZone, which is the youth brand of Namibia Media Holdings, and of course your favorite youth brand, the best youth brand that there is. Yes, thank you. And we will also be having a very important interview with Mr. Chalo Chainda, who is the Marketing and PRO Officer of the Namibia Sport Commission, about what the regulations are for you to host sport events and all the logistics that come with it. So please join us for the next videos and make sure that you take note of all the important information coming your way. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sportify. We are very excited today. I have the privilege of being joined here in studio with Chalo Chainda, who is the Public Relations Officer and also the Marketing Officer at the Namibia Sports Commission. Thank you very much for joining us today and for taking time out of your busy schedule to chat to our viewers for the day.
Thank you very much, Marisol, and good is it a morning to the viewers. I'm glad we are invited to come and share information with the general public, Namibian, especially the sporting community.
Yes. Sport has been one of the sectors and areas that has been greatly affected by COVID-19, and it has disrupted a lot of things that we had planned for the year. Can you maybe tell us a bit more about what the rest of 2020 sport calendar will look like?
Yes. First of all, let me appreciate NMH for having invited us here to come and share information with our, sporting community.
Yes.
And the general public in terms of the current situation that we face. Yes, indeed, COVID-19 greatly affected the sporting community, the sport domain itself. And there have been major interruptions in terms of events.
Yeah.
We have, as a sporting community, lost a lot in terms of financial resource and the monies that was going to be invested by corporate Namibia into some of the sporting events that were already scheduled during the year.
Yeah.
You can imagine since March of this year we have not had major sporting events, meaning that our sporting calendar have been greatly affected.
Yeah.
In as much as there is a negative about it, I think we also have a positive part where we appreciate that during the COVID-19 we were able to also plan. Hence, we were able to put in a plan of action and change our calendar so that it can suit and it can be in line with other SADC organizations. Yes. So that at least we align ourselves with, especially for example with the AUSC Region 5 calendar. So in as much as we are affected, it also gave us an opportunity as the sporting community, as we have been having engagements at times, virtual meetings that we had with our federations, with our affiliates, our board, and our key stakeholders that we've been talking to each other. I think you have seen some of after the COVID-19, there were major sponsorships being announced. So it can tell you that in as much as we were greatly affected, it gave us an opportunity to plan and to pen some action plan so that as we go gradually into different stages, we are able to cope and try to get back on what we lost out.
Yeah. Yes. We have been seeing that some of the sports have been kicking off again, especially our non-contact sports, but also our contact sports as we move through the stages. For schools who wish to host events again and start with matches and so forth, what are the procedures that they need to follow to ensure that they adhere to regulations, especially those put out by the government and the Sports Commission?
Very much so. I think we want to, as the Sports Commission, being the custodian of sport, who are tasked with the responsibility of regulating sport in the country, we are sending the message out there to the general public, be it schools, be it our federations, that we need to acknowledge and appreciate that at this stage we are still under the state of emergency. The declaration by the head of state, we are under stage 4 now. In as much as we have a gradual opening of non-contact sport and contact sport, we need to still adhere to the COVID protocols and the guidelines and regulations. So the very first important thing that we say, in as much as we want to host a sporting event, the first thing that you do before you even think of hosting or putting a date, please put the application to the Sports Commission. The application can be uploaded on our website, or they can also call our number at the office, that is 061-246-105. We will be able to give them the application form. We can either send it via email. They complete that form, and with the submission of the form, we require that you, as the sporting code or the event organizers, must give us a guideline in terms of how you are going to put measures in place in terms of regulating the adherence to the COVID guidelines and regulations. So that is very important. So normal guidelines and protocols in COVID still applies. You will be required to give us a report, for example, at the end of the event. This is where you are required. The very first part is that you cannot exceed more than 250 people at any sporting event. And you need to have an attendance register where you have records of all the participants or people that come to attend these events. So that is very, very important, so that can be used then to make follow-ups in terms of any cases that, assist also the task team on COVID in terms of tracing any suspected cases of COVID-19. We want to also say to the public out there, if it's an athlete that is being suspected, if you suspect yourself you're having flu or flu symptoms, please don't go to the event. You have to take responsibility to make sure that you are safe, and you also take into consideration the safety of other athletes and officials that will be officiating at these events. We are even saying, in as much as we are given the 1 meter social distance protocol, we want to request our sporting community to even go up to 2 meters, especially in the non-contact sport. Make sure that you sanitize yourself, adhere to all those protocols that are put in place, even by going an extra mile. We know of certain facilities, for example, gyms and exercise centers, that they will be having events with a gradual opening of gyms. We want to request them that they adhere to the COVID regulations by extending at least that 1.5 meter distance, at least at the gyms. Make sure that before the next person uses the equipment, it's sanitized, it's disinfected, fumigate the place, make sure that it's disinfected so that there's no chances of presence of a virus into your facility. So continue to do the best. It's first the safety of your participants or your athletes and yourself as administrators. Most of the swimming pools will be opening now, so we want to make sure that to maintain, they are the experts in terms of how much they must have into the swimming pool in terms of those protocols. So make sure that if you are using showers, they must be cleaned before they used by the next person. Have it fumigated, have it disinfected, so that we allow for the next person to be also safe. So basically that's the information. And also with your application, we want to emphasize that put in place, send in your guidelines, extra guidelines and measures that you're going to put in place to ensure that everybody is safe at your event.
In terms of the future of sport, if we look at things like zonals and regionals, nationals, us competing in SADC events and internationally, and then basically the rest of our calendar, which will drastically change because it depends on what's happening now, what will become our new normal. What would the Commission's message be in regards to that?
Our message is, let's make use of this period in terms of planning. In as much as it has been gradual opening of non-contact sport, we have noticed that most of our federations are still hesitant to start because of the the current situation that we know in the country in terms of numbers that are climbing almost every day. So we are saying, before you plan an event, put your guidelines in place in terms of how you are going to mitigate. What are the measures that you're going to put in place to mitigate the further spread of the pandemic? And very important, in terms of the calendar, the calendar has been seriously affected. So we are now trying to adjust to the calendar, especially for the schools. I've just had a call before I came here with Mr. Decker, who is the coordinator for school sport. Obviously, we know that the schools are still not fully functional at this stage. So we are also waiting from the schools to formally open by next week. And then in terms of what they're planning, there may be only one event that school sport might have around end of September, end of October. But we will be informed by the new measures on whether there's a lifting of the state of emergency on the 17th of September. As they announce that time, we will know whether we are able to have these events. Because remember, in terms of any event, you have corporates that are sponsors and partners to these events. And we want to give them mileage. But with a restriction of 250 people or participants at an event, you are likely to see the sponsors not getting mileage out of it. We have major events that have been had to be cancelled. The Nedbank City Dash was one of the major events that pulls around 3,000 people. Last event that they held, I think they had over 1,800 or close to 2,000 participants. They want to grow their brand. And it's the only way that we can make a case as a sporting community to corporate Namibia to invest in us when we give back what they deserve, because they want to associate themselves with this particular event because they have business to do. So it's not just about them coming there to say we are sponsoring this event. They want to get a return on their investment that they put in sport. So it's a bit of a challenge. It's a serious one. That with the limitations of 200, and we respect the protocols that are set, because government, we have to abide by the rules. They are the people who are on the ground. They have seen the impact that this disease is causing amongst our people. So that part we're not very sure whether we had even the Sports Commission ourselves. We have had to postpone the sports awards for this year. So it's obvious we have written already now to the board, in as much as it's not official. The management or executives of the commission have written to the board with a recommendation that we postpone the sports awards, which is normally an annual event, for the reason that we have not had much competition from the beginning of this year, especially with the consideration that we have a one-year cycle calendar in terms of considerations of achievements of the athletes.
What an insightful interview with Mr. Chainda of the Namibia Sports Commission. It's important to note that this interview took place just before the new changes came in, saying that spectators were only allowed to be 100. But also since then, the Namibia Sports Commission has announced that all approval for sports events taking place within the month of August has been revoked. This is to ensure that all our players, our coaches, and eventually then our spectators' health will still remain our main priority. So it's important to take note of that and to also stay tuned to both our Facebook pages and that of our Namibia Sports Commission for the latest updates regarding our sports. We also want to share a very fun video with you. This is a video that was made by the editorial team of the Windhoek High School, which is the Blauw Kudu, and they shared some insight from the different first team captains that they have at the school. We also want to remind you that on the 12th of August, we have our Careers VX Expo coming up. It's soon, it's almost, I'm excited. I hope you are as excited as I am. But that's it from us here at Sportify. Please remember to stay safe, sanitize, stay active, and stay tuned to My Zone.
We took some time to speak to the captains of all the first teams of Windhoek High School for the year 2020. We asked them a series of questions and they shared with us their secret to their success. Let us hear what they had to say.
Hello VRS, I'm Joanne van Rooyen. I'm the captain of the hockey first team.
I'm Daniel Opperman, the captain of the first rugby team.
Good afternoon VRS, I'm Diman Lakok, captain of the first cricket team.
My name is Uri Komanda, my name is Chalo Chainda. I'm known as Uri. I'm the netball first team captain.
Greetings VIS, David Brits here, your first team hockey boys captain. I'm going to be answering a few questions today.
It is definitely an honor to be a captain of one of VRS's first teams. Although it comes with great responsibility, I'm definitely up for the challenge.
It has always been a dream of mine to be the captain of the first rugby team, and what a privilege to do it under VIS.
To stay fit, daily programs were sent through by the national high performance coach, which we had to do and send updated stats back to him each day.
So there was a fitness program issued to, I'm guessing, all the first teams, which we had to follow. And I'm guessing some guys didn't, but that suits them.
During lockdown, I remained in shape by ensuring that I exercised at least every day or every second day, be it 30 minutes or more.
I tried to stay motivated and stay in shape, but working on the farm prevented me from turning into a couch potato.
I've always chosen to lead my team by example.
Being a captain, you have to lead by an example. Step up for the team when they need you.
I feel the best way to lead your team is to inspire them, to inspire action, and therefore lead by example. Obviously, as a cricketer, you want to score runs on the field, perform on the field, but off the field, behave in a way that you bring your team closer to each other and bring the best out of your team.
You have to work hard, have a positive mind, be physically prepared.
Work harder than the average learner and compete with yourself by challenging yourself to your full potential.
It's never too late, so just perform to the best of your ability, because one year the coach will see your potential.
Some advice, just work hard so you can wear the first team badge. It really is an honor to wear and play for the school's first team.
Set personal goals for yourself, push your own ability, not just physically but mentally as well. And my personal slogan, don't confuse movement with progress. And remember to work hard.
Be a team player.
Stay fit.
Be humble, and then most importantly,
Love the game.